Mateo was your average 15-year-old energetic boy. He loved video games, he loved hanging out with his brothers, and he really took a liking to martial arts. He was so dedicated, he was so focused, he was so determined. He loved it. I think that things happen for a reason in life, and he found this place that helped him prepare him for the biggest, the most tragic thing in his life.
When the days are cold.
We had a barbecue on Sunday, and he was starting not to feel good, so I said, oh, I think you're getting sick, We went to the doctor's appointment, and finally the doctor came to me, and he's like, oh, I have some results for you. And I said, okay. He says, why don't you sit down? And I said, I don't understand. What are you talking about? And he says, your son has leukemia. After that, I can't really remember much. I just remember I stood up because I was very startled. I felt like I was angry. It had to be a mistake. It was just that moment of impact. I couldn't believe it. I'll never forget the first chemo he had. Sounds, the lights, it was horrid. It was horrid watching my son basically ingest poison. The pain was so bad in his joints, he couldn't walk. It was so painful for him just to get up to go to the bathroom. The pain was so bad. You can see his legs trembling. He asked me, Mom, please don't let them do this to me. My life did come to a standstill. You live in this room with the door constantly closed because you don't want germs to come in. And there was times where I would have to step out because I just felt like I was drowning in cancer. And you can see cars, people walking, people laughing. And it just kind of felt like I wasn't part of that world anymore. And I didn't know how to get back. And I didn't know why this happened to us. As life continued, I started getting mail at home. And there were just bills, and I started opening them, and it was overwhelming. I just kind of felt like, could it get any worse? Already bad. Now I have to deal with this. What do I do? One of the nurses there had asked me if I had spoken to the social worker about this, and I said no. I'm like, what is she gonna do? She said, I met a man. His name is Jesse, and he's from the Tyler Robinson Foundation. It's a new foundation that's helping families suffering from cancer and the unforeseen cause.
I always say that cancer is no respecter of persons. And when it happened to my brother, it just seemed like surreal. Like, how could this happen in our family?
Right after Tyler passed, we asked the family, what is the way that we can combat this? And what they said is the most direct way is there are so many unforeseen costs that come into a family's life when your child has cancer, whether it's changing the diet, whether it's a parent dropping out of work, whether it's driving across states to go see doctors.
We have a unique program of how we help families. It's really in depth, not just with money, but with help from financial advisors, from a family rep.
The planner sits down, they go over the budget, they help the family figure out where are your greatest needs, and we find ways to target those things very meticulously, and then we spend money directly there.
Because of that system, we're in a position where we get to see the rescue occur for a lot of families.
He's like, yeah, I'd just like to tell you, I just paid off your car. The foundation has paid off your car. You don't have to worry about it. And, I just started crying.
They're crying, and we're crying, and it's those moments where you realize, like, okay, this is why we're doing all of this.
It's one of those, another moment of impact, but it was completely different. We'll forever be thankful for that.
You never know how you're gonna respond to something like cancer until it affects you really personally. Like, what if it's your own brother or sister or your own son or daughter? Especially when they're young, and a lot of these kids, they don't understand why it's happening or what's going on. They're just in pain.
I think it comes back to showing those families that they're not alone. You know, even aside from the monetary value of what these people give, there's something deeper going on.
You know, we meet families nearly every day. They meet us and they tell us their story and they tell us how it's affecting their lives. And so to see directly where all the money goes and the good that it's doing, it's the most meaningful, important part of our lives. And we hope that people get involved with it.
When entire organizations get involved, they're positioning TRF to make a huge impact on families.
Mateo's doing really well. He's in remission. He's getting ready to go to college. We just bought him a computer.
To be part of this foundation for me it saved me. It saved me because when I left the hospital, I kind of felt like I was thrown out into the world. And here came this smiling face one day, and it just got better ever since.
You know, you don't know what's gonna happen, or you don't know what you're gonna do. Like, I'm really scared of the unknown. So it was really nice to have people like really reaching out to help me and making sure I felt like everything was gonna be okay.
When you give, you're changing lives like Mateo's family.
All of us have, you know, a choice. We can either put blinders on and continue in our life, or you can say, you know what, this is what I can give, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna give.
Donations make a difference. However you choose to become part of this foundation, you're part of rescuing these families.